It was 11:59 p.m. when Marcus Kane leaned closer to the microphone. The midnight wave was about to begin, his radio show that no one listened to anymore. He had once been a famous voice, calm, deep, trusted. But now, in this forgotten station on the city's edge, his only company was static and an old coffee mug with his name half erased. "Good evening, insomniacs," he whispered into the mic. "This is Marcus Kane, and you're tuned in to the last broadcast of the Midnight Wave." Outside, rain struck the glass like fingers tapping for attention. He adjusted his headphones and froze. Someone was already on the line. "Midnight Wave," Marcus said softly. "You're live on air." For a moment, silence. Then, a woman's trembling voice. "Marcus, is that you?" Something inside him cracked. That voice. Impossible. "Who is this?" "You don't remember me?" she whispered. "You promised you'd be home before the accident." The sound distorted, static mixed with faint screaming tires. Marcus tore off his headset. That was Laura's voice, his wife. Dead for 5 years. He checked the call ID. It showed unknown frequency, 00.00 megahertz. The signal didn't exist. The next morning, Marcus found Ben, the station's old engineer, asleep under a desk. "Ben," he said, shaking him. "Who patched that call through last night?" Ben blinked. "We haven't had live calls in years, Marcus. That switchboard's been dead since 2018. Marcus hesitated. "Then how?" Ben interrupted, grinning nervously. "Maybe it was a ghost call. Happens when signals bounce off the atmosphere. Or the other side." Marcus frowned. "The other side?" Ben chuckled, but his voice trembled. "You know the rumor, right? This tower was built over a mass grave. They say the dead never stopped broadcasting." That night, Marcus went on air again, rain again, static again. He began, voice trembling. "Welcome back to the Midnight Wave. I'm Marcus, and this time, we're keeping the lines open," a deep male voice came through. "You left me there, Marcus. Do you remember the fire?" Marcus's breath caught. "Who is this? You were supposed to save me, but you ran." The line hissed, and Marcus heard screaming, his own voice echoing in the background. He dropped the mic. "That fire, 15 years ago, the one that destroyed his first studio, the one that killed his producer, Evan." He whispered into the static, "Is this a joke?" The line replied, calm and cold, "This isn't a joke. It's a replay." Each night, the calls grew stranger. Different voices, all familiar. Some he loved, some he had forgotten. They spoke of guilt, accidents, betrayals, fragments of a life Marcus wanted to forget. But one thing was always the same. Each call ended with the same words. "Don't let it reach the final broadcast." Marcus confronted Ben again. "I need the call logs from last night." Ben hesitated. "Marcus, there aren't any." He handed Marcus a dusty folder, blank pages. "Listen," Ben whispered. "The radio tower's signal. It's not on the regular network. It's transmitting from a relay that shouldn't exist." Marcus stared. "You mean, from where?" Ben swallowed hard. "Coordinates traced to an old tower, the one that burned down in the fire 15 years ago." That night, Marcus drove there. The tower stood half broken in the fog, wires like veins reaching into the sky. He brought his portable radio, turned the dial. A faint hum filled the air. Then a voice. His own voice. "Welcome back to the Midnight Wave. This is Marcus Kane." He froze. The signal wasn't replaying. It was broadcasting live. Right now. And from inside the static, faint whispers overlapped. Voices calling his name from every direction. He dropped to his knees, covering his ears. "Stop!" he screamed. But the radio replied, with his voice again. "You can't stop what's already aired." Back at the studio, Marcus decided to end it. He locked the doors, turned on every light, and began recording. "This is Marcus Kane, and tonight, I'm ending the broadcast that should never have started." He flipped the main switch, Power surged. All the phones lit up at once, hundreds of lines flashing. He took one. A child's voice whispered, "Dad, please stop." His heart froze. He had no children. Static grew louder, filling the room like a scream. And through it, he heard his own voice calling back, "Marcus, this is you. You have to stop the signal. You're not broadcasting to them. You're broadcasting from them." The studio lights exploded. The windows cracked. Marcus reached for the main transmitter switch. And for a second, the static cleared. He saw his reflection in the glass. Pale, trembling, fading, then silence. The next morning, police arrived at the station. No trace of Marcus Kane was found, only his headset still warm. But the transmitter was active, looping the same broadcast again and again. "This is Marcus Kane. You're listening to the Midnight Wave." And tonight is our last broadcast. Years later, a new host reopened the station. He cleaned the dust, set up the mic, and switched on the transmitter. For a moment, the signal was clear. Then, static. And deep inside it, a familiar voice whispered, "Welcome back." In the end, Marcus didn't disappear. He merged with the frequency he created. His guilt became the static, his memories, the signal. And every night, the tower still hums, waiting for someone to tune in to the last broadcast.